So I'm recording from the car, but I'm going to tell you what happened during the two Tua Tagovailoa turnovers during the LSU game. And so first of all, I got to say that turnovers, I personally never blame a loss on one play or even two or a turnover or two. It's kind of ridiculous because a game has so many plays and there's so many factors that lead to a lot of things, including in this situation. Alabama still came back. There were still a lot of circumstances that led to the final result. With that said, I'm going to analyze what happened on the two plays where Tua did turn over the ball and tell you why they happened. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the fumble on the first drive of the game, where Alabama was 5 wide on the play, including having Najee Harris to the far left at wide receiver. At the snap, number 43 of LSU beats Deontay Brown inside with the well-executed move to swat away Deontay Brown's reach by knocking them away on the get-off and hooking his arm and ripping through. So that's a good pass rush technique that you see even a lot of NFL players use. So this forces Tua Tagovailoa, because this is right up the middle, to move to his right, and he naturally has to keep moving right because the pass rush on the right side has collapsed down as well. And so the BAMA wide receivers on that side are covered up. So Tua Tagovailoa only has the option of taking off. He has to run here. As he runs, Tua switches the ball to his right arm, which is the correct play. This is what he's supposed to do because the defenders are coming toward him from his left, meaning they'll have a chance to knock at the ball. So you got to keep the ball away from the defenders. And as he keeps it away, the ball simply slips out of his arm as he's running, in the motion of your arm going back and forth. That motion causes the ball to swing right of his arm. That's just simply rust. Tua Tagovailoa hasn't been running with the ball lately. He hasn't been at practice testing out his speed, testing out his scrambling. He's been, stationary most often and trying to keep the swelling and the pain, managed and just getting ready to play and pass. So it makes sense that he wouldn't be as prepared scrambling with the ball there. Blame whatever you want to after that point of whether or not he should have been. That's not the point. I'm just explaining to you what happened. Now let's talk about that interception that happened right before the half. So Tua's interception here, Alabama's in a shotgun. They go 4 wide. Devontae Smith is the only wide receiver on the left. So the pass protection is fairly solid here as Tua Tagovailoa has a clean pocket. LSU rushed 4 and dropped into a cover 4 zone basically. And you can tell because Stingley, the cornerback at the snap, the boundary corner on Devontae Smith's side, drops into a deep 4th zone at the snap, even though Devontae Smith is running the route right in front of him. And then the 2 safeties also over the top. And in the other corner, Christian Fulton is actually paying really, really good coverage on Henry Ruggs. You should check that out. He's running up the field in the deep 4th as well. That's a cover 4 zone. The middle linebacker, Patrick McQueen, does a good job of securing his zone here at the start of the play by stepping forward and making sure Tua doesn't have a quick throw to the guy in front of him. And then he starts following Tua Tagovailoa's eyes. So this is just a really good play by Patrick McQueen to the left. He drifts that way with good technique. You can see him kind of shuffle his feet like right in front of each other without tripping over each other, without just doing a flat out run. He's still keeping his base toward Tua Tagovailoa so he can watch him. And he intercepted this pass by being able to run right to where Tua's eyes led to the ball. So this is a good play, but this was due to rust as well. So this ball should have been out as soon as Devontae Smith broke on the post route that he was running. Tua threw this ball, or he didn't throw this ball until Devontae Smith was already 2 yards into this post route, when he should have thrown this ball as soon as Devontae Smith broke, which is like as soon as Devontae Smith's right foot comes out to start running toward the middle of the field, this ball has to be out. And you can tell this is the case because as Tua's throwing the ball, Patrick McQueen's already catching up, and Devontae Smith has to slow down. You see him stop a bit to try to turn back to catch this ball based on where it was placed. This is way too late of a throw against zone coverage. And the reason why I say this is rust still, because Tua usually puts this ball right where it needs to be. Tua's usually not late on the throw like this. And he usually puts the ball where it needs to be. And so you can't be this late against zone. And Tua's just, he had a rough time on this throw. And he didn't really do this again for the rest of the game. It seems that he kind of got his bearings on him and played well in the second half. So normally that ball would whiz right past the linebacker's hand and fall right into Devontae Smith's laps as he continues to run in stride, probably for a big gain on this play, actually, because the other DBs were further upfield. And so yeah, that's basically what happened. That's why Tua Tagovailoa had those 2 turnovers. And like I said before, I do not believe these things led to the end result of the game, because I just don't believe in 1 or 2 plays determining the outcome of a game. It's all the plays together. So thank you for watching. I'll be back with more videos in this series about the Alabama-LSU matchup. I'll see you next time.